This is going to be a quick introduction into reading feed tags and why feed tags are important. So let's start with why is it important to understand your feed tag. The first thing is you need to know that you know what you are feeding your animal in terms of nutrients, ingredients. Both of these have a very big importance into what they are eating, what nutrients they're getting, which grain you should be picking to which nutrients they're needing. You want to make sure that you're feeding the necessary nutrients for an animal that you may be competing on or showing. You're going to want to make sure that they have all the nutrients they need to make sure that they are the healthiest that they can be to give you the best that they can. The third thing is to optimize growth. With optimizing growth, especially in terms of market animals or young animals, you want to make sure that they're getting all the nutrients they need to grow and to be the strongest that they can once they grow up and the healthiest. The fourth is to meet any special dietary needs. Just like people, animals can have allergies to certain things, whether it be alfalfa, a certain mineral, molasses, a mixing nutrient, something like that. Feed tags allow you to see what's in there so that you can keep an eye out for any ingredient you may need or not need in your feed. And the last is to assess any combination of supplements and feeds. You want your feed and your supplement to be working together the best that they can, and by looking at these tags, you're able to tell what's in each to make sure that they are helping each other out and not hurting you. So let's look at what is listed on a tag. There are 6 main things listed on a tag. The first is the guaranteed analysis, the ingredient list, feeding instructions, manufacturer information, bag weight, and the caution statement. So your guaranteed analysis, this is going to list the dietary components as a percentage in the feed. So it's listed as a minimum or a maximum, and it is usually the first thing on the tag. The required components that must be listed are the crude fiber, crude protein, crude fat, and ash. These are all required on a national level. You can see over here in the example the different ones listed. The majority are listed in that percent. Others are in a few other measurements, including parts per million. But your main ones will always be listed as a percentage of the feed. The next is the ingredients. These are often listed in order of magnitude, so from the biggest ingredient in the feed to the smallest ingredient in the feed. It can be listed as either the collective feed names or the specific feed names. This depends on the company and depends on how they want to advertise it to the customer. Some common ingredients will include different types of meals, your corn, wheat, soybean, alfalfa. These are going to be usually towards the main ingredients. You're going to often have oats or molasses, and then your salts, vitamins, minerals, any sources of those that they added in there to help them get all the nutrients they need. Next, you're going to have your feeding directions. This gives either basic or very detailed instructions depending on your tag on what the feed company recommends as the rate that you feed per animal. Usually it's listed as a percent of body weight that you feed. In this example here, you can see that it goes on to say that depending on body weight, it's a pound to 4.6 pounds per head per day. Other ones will be longer directions on how often to feed and things like that, or just stay with this basic, tell you the percent per body weight that you should be feeding. Next is the manufacturer information and bag weight. The manufacturer information will always include their name, and then it'll often include their address, website, and or phone number. Any assortment of these 3 things. In both the examples over here, the first one is from Purina, and it has their address and a phone number. The one on the bottom, the CHS Inc., has their town and their website. This will vary from company to company on what they want to include here. Then it will always list the bag weight at the bottom of the tag. It is in either pound, it's usually in pounds and kilograms. Both these are listed at 50 pounds and then 22.6 kilograms as their net weight. The next thing is the caution statement, and every feed tag will have this that does have any concerns or warnings. It lists any species that may be harmed, any consequences that may occur, any warnings, and any withdrawals in case of a medicated feed. The example here is letting us know that it's for horses or other equines. It may be fatal to them, so that's the consequence. And it is safe for cattle and goats only. Consumption is unapproved by an unapproved species may be toxic. So it's just reinforcing that idea that it can cause them to be sick if it is not fed correctly. And then it does have a warning to not feed to lactating goats. And in big letters at the bottom, it warns you about not to feed to sheep. That is a quick overview on the feed tag and why feed tags are important. Please read your feed tags and see what you can learn from all of these interesting things that they include on them.